The first sign that something was wrong was the silence. Not the peaceful kind. The wrong kind. Daniel Carter woke up in darkness, his body heavy, his thoughts slow. For a moment, he thought it was just another ordinary night. Another quiet sleep. Then he noticed something. There was no sound. No wind. No distant traffic. No hum of electricity. Just silence. His eyes opened. Above him stretched a ceiling he had never seen before. Smooth, metallic, glowing faintly with soft blue lines that pulsed like a heartbeat. Daniel blinked. "Okay," he whispered, his voice dry. "That's new." He sat up slowly, his head spinning. The room around him was enormous, circular and seamless, as if carved from a single piece of metal. There were no doors. No windows. Just walls. A low hum vibrated through the floor. The wall in front of him opened. Not like a door. It separated, folding apart like liquid metal. And that's when he saw them. Two figures stepped inside. Elegant. Not human. Their skin shimmered faintly, almost silver. Their eyes glowing softly in a way that made it impossible to tell where the pupil ended and the light began. They didn't carry weapons. They didn't need to. There was something about them, something calm and controlled, that made it clear. If they wanted him dead, he would already be. One of them tilted its head. "Subject is awake." Daniel raised a hand slightly. "Before we continue," he said carefully, "I just want to confirm something." The two figures exchanged a glance. Daniel pointed around the room. "I'm not on Earth anymore, am I?" No. Daniel exhaled slowly. "Right," he muttered. "That tracks." The shorter alien stepped forward. "You are calm," it said. Daniel shrugged. "Panicking won't help," he replied. "Also, if this is a dream, I'd rather enjoy it before I wake up." The aliens studied him. Then, surprisingly, one of them nodded. "Logical." Daniel allowed himself a small smile. "Thank you. I practice." But the moment didn't last. 'Cause something in the air changed. Subtle. The taller alien straightened slightly. "You were requested," it said. Daniel frowned. "Requested," he repeated. "By who?" The answer came. Not from them, but from beyond. The wall behind them opened again, revealing a massive corridor stretching into the distance. Light flowed through it like liquid, illuminating countless figures moving silently in the distance. And every single one of them, up, to stare at him. Daniel stood slowly. "Okay," he muttered. "Now I'm officially uncomfortable." The aliens gestured. "It is time." "For what?" Daniel asked. Neither answered. They guided him forward. As he stepped into the corridor, the scale of the place hit him like a wave. The ceiling stretched impossibly high. Bridges of glowing energy connected distant platforms. Floating drones drifted like silent birds. And everywhere, aliens, watching him. Whispers followed. "That's him. He looks so ordinary." "Are we certain?" The Queen confirmed it herself. Daniel froze mid-step. "Queen?" He turned to the alien beside him. "Hold on. Did someone just say Queen?" "Yes." Daniel rubbed his face. "Great. Fantastic. I get kidnapped by aliens, and now I have a royal meeting. Perfect start to the week." They kept walking. Deeper. Further. Until they reached the doors. They were enormous. Towering structures of dark crystal, glowing with ancient symbols that shifted like living light. Two guards stood at either side. And as Daniel approached, they bowed. Not to the soldiers. To him. Daniel glanced behind himself. "Nope," he whispered. "Still just me." The doors began to open. Light poured out. Blinding. And somewhere inside, someone was waiting. Daniel swallowed. "I really hope this isn't about that one time." He hesitated. "I helped an alien girl when I was a kid." The guards froze. Slowly, they turned toward him. "You remember?" one asked. Daniel blinked. "Why are you reacting like that?" But before they could answer, The doors fully opened, and everything changed. The throne room was beyond anything Daniel had ever imagined. It wasn't just large. It was impossible. The ceiling arched like the inside of a hollow star, glowing with rivers of light that moved slowly overhead. Massive pillars stretched upward like frozen lightning, and between them stood rows upon rows of alien figures. Nobles, warriors, leaders, all watching him. Silence spread across the chamber as Daniel stepped forward. He felt it. The weight of thousands of eyes. Judging, measuring, doubting. "Okay," he whispered to himself. "Just act normal." He shoved his hands into his pockets. That didn't help. At the far end of the chamber, staircase rose. And at the top, throne, carved from pure glowing crystal. And sitting upon it, was her. Daniel stopped walking. His breath caught. Because he knew those eyes. Silver, glowing, unmistakable. The girl from his childhood. Only now. She wasn't a lost, curious child anymore. She was a queen. She stood. And instantly, the entire chamber bowed. Everyone. Except Daniel. "Oh," he said softly. He awkwardly attempted a half bow. It looked terrible. A few nobles whispered in shock. "She approaches," someone murmured. The queen descended the stairs. Step was slow, controlled, powerful. But her eyes never left him. When she reached the bottom, they stood face to face. Silence. Daniel raised his hand slightly. "Hi!" Gasps echoed across the room. He greets the queen like a friend. No protocol. But the queen ignored them. She stepped closer, studying his face. "You grew older," she said softly. Daniel blinked. "That tends to happen." A faint smile touched her lips. "You remember me." Daniel nodded slowly. Hard to forget someone who asked if apples were deadly. A ripple of confusion spread through the court. "Apples?" one noble whispered. "Human ritual." Another guessed. The queen laughed. Not loudly, but enough. And the entire court froze in shock. She laughed. In the throne room. Daniel scratched his head. "So," he said, "you're a queen now." "Yes. And you kidnapped me. I retrieved you." Feels like kidnapping. Was. Fair. For a moment it felt normal. Like two old friends talking. Until a voice cut through the air. "Your Majesty." A tall noble stepped forward. Cold. Dark. Suspicious. "This human is an unknown variable. The court demands an explanation." The tension returned instantly. The queen turned slightly. Her expression changed. Not warm anymore. Cold. Royal. "I searched the galaxy for him," she said. Murmurs spread. "Why?" the noble pressed. Her gaze returned to Daniel. "Because when I was alone, hunted, and powerless." Her voice softened. "He was the only one who treated me like I was ordinary." Silence. Heavy. Uncomfortable. The noble frowned. "A sentimental reason is not enough." "It is not sentiment," she interrupted. Her voice didn't rise. But it didn't need to. The entire room fell silent. Daniel shifted slightly. "I feel like I missed something important." The queen stepped beside him. "When I was taken from Earth," she said, "my empire was at war. My family was gone. I was meant to die." Shock rippled through the court. "I survived," she continued, "because I remembered something a human boy told me." Daniel blinked. "Oh." "You said," she continued, "that power without trust destroys everything." Daniel winced. "I was 10. And yet, it was the truth." The noble stepped forward again. "Even if that is so, Your Majesty, placing faith in a human." "He stands here," she said calmly, "in the center of the most powerful court in the galaxy without fear." Daniel raised a finger. "Small correction. There is definitely fear." A few quiet laughs escaped. But the tension remained. The noble's eyes hardened. "Then let him prove it," he said. The room went still. "Prove what?" Daniel asked. That humans are not weak. The Queen's gaze sharpened. This is unnecessary. It is required. Was. She looked at Daniel, not as a ruler, but as someone asking a question. Will you stand? She asked. Daniel exhaled slowly, looked around. The aliens, the soldiers, at the empire that feared him, then back at her. Yeah, he said. I think I will. The arena was built for war, not ceremony, not politics, or massive walls of dark metal surrounded a circular battlefield, etched with glowing patterns that pulsed with energy. Above, thousands of alien spectators filled the stands, their voices echoing in low, tense murmurs. Daniel stood at the center, alone. Across from him, his opponent, a warrior twice his size, armored, bladed, deadly. This is a mistake, someone whispered from the crowd. He will die instantly. The Queen stood above, watching, silent, unmoving, but her hands were clenched. The signal sounded. The warrior moved first. Fast. Too fast. Daniel barely dodged as a blade sliced through the air where his head had been. Okay, he muttered, stumbling back. Definitely not a fair fight. The warrior attacked again. And again. Relentless. Precise. Perfect. Daniel couldn't match that strength. Couldn't match that speed. But he had something else. He watched. Analyzed. Adapted. Every movement. Every pattern. Every rhythm. The warrior struck. Daniel stepped inside the attack. Too close. Too unexpected. The warrior hesitated. Just for a second. And that was enough. Daniel grabbed the arm. Shifted his weight. Used the warrior's momentum. And threw him. Hard. The arena shook. Silence fell. What was that? Someone whispered. Daniel backed away, breathing heavily. Basic physics, he muttered. The warrior rose. Angrier now. Faster. Stronger. But also less careful. The attacks became wild. Uncontrolled. And Daniel, stayed calm. Waited. Struck. Not with strength. With precision. Targeting weak points. Balance. Taming. Control. Minutes passed. Ended. The warrior collapsed. Not dead. But defeated. The arena was silent. No one moved. No one spoke. Daniel stood there, exhausted, bruised, but alive. He looked up at the Queen. Does that count? For a moment, nothing happened. One noble stood. And bowed. Daniel. Another followed. Then another. Until the entire arena bowed. Not to the Queen. To the human. The noble who had challenged him stepped forward slowly. His expression had changed. No longer arrogant. Respectful. Humans are not weak, he said quietly. The Queen descended into the arena. She stopped in front of Daniel. Her expression soft again. You didn't fight to win, she said. Daniel shrugged. I fought to survive. She smiled. That is why you won. She turned to the crowd. Let it be known, she declared, her voice echoing across the empire, that humanity is no longer insignificant. Silence. Earth will be protected under our rule. Whispers. But no one argued. 'Cause they had seen it. A single human. Facing impossible odds. And winning. Not through strength. But through mind. Through courage. Through resilience. Daniel looked around. The aliens. The empire. At the girl who had become a queen. So, he said softly. What happens now? She looked at him. The same way she had all those years ago. Curious. Warm. Certain. Now, she said, we build something better. Daniel smiled slightly. Yeah, he said. I think I'd like that. The end. Final message. Humans are not the strongest. They are not the fastest. But when everything is taken away, when the odds are impossible, when fear should win, humans stand anyway. And sometimes, that is enough to change an entire galaxy.